Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video we're diving back into Treasure Map for the new 5+ Edward Newgate with some boosted teams for you guys and some different options if you guys did some summons on the Treasure Map banner. I'm going to go through a couple combinations of characters, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, for what you might be able to build for the upcoming Intrusion and Final Boss battle. Now, this is with the assumption that you guys have the New Year's batch as well, because the New Year's batch are very, very good for the final stages, plus they're a 1.4 times boost. I'll try and go through some substitutes for them though, as there are some options you can use instead. But, like I said, we're going to try and run it through some different team builds for the Intrusion and the Final Boss. So, we're farming for this guy right here, and the first team build utilizes the 2 new rare recruits, but doesn't have the Luffy character. So if you guys did maybe 3 or 7 multis, maybe you did 3, 3, and 3, you managed to pick up Nami and Hiyori, you'll be able to build out something like this. The Zoro Sanji is so good for the Robin Jinbei fight. I would keep them for that particular build. And then for the Zoro fight, you can use Roger and Odin as your captain with a friend captain Luffy, bring the 2 rare recruits, and then bring the free-to-play PKA Luffy on the team, and that's going to work quite nicely. Yamato's here to remove the damage reduction. If you guys don't have Yamato, maybe you missed out on Yamato, you can bring the rare recruit Robin and Law. They were greatly boosted on the New Year's banner, so you probably picked them up there. They're also a 3-turn color affinity booster, and they honestly just work so perfectly here. This particular Law Robin character, they're just an absolutely fantastic swap in. They're a 1.35 booster compared to a 1.4. So they're just, like I said, a very, very good unit you can substitute on here. The thing with this particular team, though, is that you can use the Luffy special twice, because you get the auto proc, and then you can also get his super type because you're below 30% HP with this 80% HP cut here, so that works very, very nicely. As for the Sanji Intrusion, we're using Roger and Odin once again. Zoro Sanji are very, very good for this fight, turning everyone into free spirit and slashes. They also remove 3 turns of the defense up and the threshold on this particular fight for stage 2. Hiyori is going to remove all of those nasty effects where you can turn counter healing and counter recovery into into damage, so she works great, and then Nami's great for our cooldowns. Luffy, again, he's just here because he can remove special blind, but mainly he's just an orb booster. He's a free spirit fighter too, so if you guys are missing this Zoro Sanji and you're not turning everyone into free spirit slashes, you can easily replace Zoro Sanji with another character that does 3 turns of threshold and defense up. There's not too many boosted characters that can actually do that. We'll have a quick look at the list, but if you can find a character that can do both, like, that's in your best interest. You could replace it with this Zoro here. He's a 1.2 times booster. He's a free-to-play character as well. The only other character I can think of is this Momo. So if you have the 1.25 Legend Momo, he's another really, really good option. 1.35 booster to sort of just put on the team that way. Unfortunately, there's not too many other supports that you guys could use in that regard either. There is like a Kuzan and stuff like that, but other than that, you are going to be pretty stuck if you're not using Zoro Sanji. But if you have Momo, maybe you put Momo along the way, you can easily replace that Zoro Sanji there, or you can use that 1.2 times Zoro as well. But that's if you have both the rare recruits. If you got very lucky and you managed to pull Luffy and one of the rare recruits, these teams might help you out a little bit. Bringing on Luffy to the team means that you can't run the PKA Luffy, but they both remove special bind, so they work nicely. We're just going to bring Edward Newgate onto this team, whether you run the 5+ or the 5-star. The 5+ works really well here for the 2 turns of barrier removal, but with the Whitey base support, you can get around it nice and easy. I do believe Whitebeard Roger can probably kill the mobs in the back anyway. With double Luffy, you can actually get around the poison slots on this stage here by using one of your Luffy's turn 1, and then just using something like an orb blocking support, like the free-to-play Jinbei. And that way you can sort of just kill there. Saving those rainbow orbs on your top and bottom row, you can definitely put something like this here. So that way you don't have to worry about too many poison sockets. Yamato, again, can remove the damage reduction. I did it again. Robin and Law are very good as a replacement for Yamato, as I mentioned. And then if you don't have Roger and Odin, like, they're just an orb booster here, really. Like, if you don't have them, just bring any other good quick unit. The Legend Hiyori is a great option over them. She works great as a captain too if you're missing the Luffy. Over here on the Intrusion fights, once again, we're basically just bringing in the Edward Newgate with the Marco support. That's going to remove the poison. Works out quite nicely there. Yeah, Nami can remove the cooldowns, but with this team, you are going to have to deal with the pain. You are going to have to deal with the counter healing, and you're going to have to deal with the recovery turning into damage. So just be very, very careful what your damage looks like. You're going to be using the Super Swap of Sanji and Zoro on turn 2, and then you can use their special again. You might have to use that Zoro or Momo in replacement for them, but you have 2 Luffys here too, so you can actually use the super type of one of the Luffys. I actually don't know if you get the super type of one of the Luffys because you don't have 3 of the characters. If you take enough damage with burn and counter healing, you can bring yourself low enough to use the super special. But I don't think it's overly needed for these particular fights if you are running 2 Luffys, because you just need to use it once to get around this sort of stuff here. Other than that, the Hiyori is really good for removing the poison but look, Marco support can do that nicely. As for missing Nami, you can actually use the Nami support on Luffy to give yourself the cooldowns. That's going to work quite nicely, and over here, there's no real changes besides bringing that Whitebeard in. Hiyori's a lot harder to replace than what the Nami is. Nami's really only providing cooldowns for most of these teams if you have the New Year's batch. It's a lot easier to replace damage than it is to replace the utility, especially because Hiyori's utility is so damn niche. She can remove the poison sockets for you, she uses the poison, the blind, all that counter healing and stuff like that. Plus, she's a base stat booster as well, healing maximum HP too, so she can work really, really well. You can, again, use the PP Whitebeard, whether you're using the 5+ or the 5-star. He's a great character to sort of just bring on the team and then keep Zoro and Sanji over on the Robin Jinbei fight. Once again, over here, we're using the double Luffy. We've got Roger Odin. You can be easily replaced with another orb booster on the team. There's plenty of orb boosters and plenty of other damage characters that are available to you guys that you can bring along. They're kind of a bit more needed on this team because you need an orb booster where Nami can be your orb booster on the other build. But if you guys are missing some of these combinations, let me know in the comment section below, but hopefully it helps you guys out if you guys are looking for boosted variations of the Zoro and Sanji fight. And if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.